everyone, and welcome to Community Connection, your window to the world around you. And today we'd also like to welcome our Ilmaz TV viewers. This program will be broadcast on their network as well. So welcome to you. And I'm very pleased and proud to have with me a very special guest, HazemBata, who is the Executive Director of ISNA, which is the Islamic Society of North America, one of the largest Muslim and Islamic organizations, I believe, in the world.
Yes.
Welcome, Hazem. It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you for coming up to Community Connection.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure.
Hazem, you are now the Executive Director of ISNA, again,
yes.
One of the largest Muslim and Islamic
and the oldest
organizations.
We're the oldest American Muslim organization in the U.S.
And you're in your previous life, you and you still are a lawyer and activist. You practiced law in Florida,
yes.
And you were a partner with Bata and Associates. So basically,
yes,
it was your own firm.
Yes.
And you were the operations manager for the Bank of America as well.
Yes.
What a difference in career paths. But I think you can integrate your role with your legal experience. But
sure.
Tell us what drove you. Who was Hazem?
Sure.
Your legal career and now in your new role as
sure.
ISNA's executive.
Well, I started off my career as an attorney. But even before that, I was always involved with the local community, local masajid. I was with the MSA in college.
MSA is
the Muslim Student Association.
Organizations.
And I did a lot of interfaith work. I was involved with my local masjid on the executive board and things of that nature. So I've always wanted to serve the community. I was also the executive director of CARE Orlando, the Council on American Islamic Relations, the largest American Muslim civil rights organization. So I've always been involved in this kind of work, and I thought that it was important work to do. And I was growing dissatisfied in corporate America. I felt that there was so much work that needed to be done within the American Muslim community. This opportunity with ISNA presented itself, and I applied.
Never to live your passion kind of thing.
Yeah, never ever thinking that I would get the position. But subhanAllah, I interviewed and one thing led to another, and here I am.
Well, I'm sure they've seen that special quality in you as someone that can represent the organization and the faith and the interfaith community very, very well. ISNA is, tell us what the mission statement of ISNA is. I mean, given the environment, given everything that's going on, given the turmoil that we're realizing in the Middle East, and when you say Islam, you say Muslim, people have a different perspective, and I think you and I both on a general sense, work in terms of creating a positive and even a factual, perception of our communities and who we are. What's ISNA's mission statement? What is your focus?
ISNA's mission is to enrich and empower the lives of the American Muslims. And we do it in various ways. We have various programs and departments, and I'll remind you that ISNA is 51 years old. This is our 51st year of service, and we do it in various ways. So we have the youth department, right? Because youth, you need to empower them, you need to create a love of the religion in their hearts at a young age. So we have the youth department. We have the interfaith and government relations department. We have a satellite office in D.C. Interfaith is such an important aspect of what we do.
Interfaith, right?
Yes, interfaith.
And that's the key.
Yes, absolutely. We have dialogue with our brothers and sisters in other faiths, with Christians, Hindus, Jews, you name it. We share this country with other people, and it's very important that we have good relationships with them and have open dialogue.
Hazem, when people hear Islamic, they think more to the more conservative right kind of thing. What's ISNA's position on how it presents itself and how its conversation is accordingly with communities and with the national community as well as the international community?
ISNA always tries to be a moderate voice. We never go too far left, too far right. We always try to be moderate and level-headed. Normal is a great word for it, right? I mean, we know that not every Muslim has a beard. Not every Muslim wears hijab. Not every Muslim prays 5 times a day.
Absolutely.
Right? ISNA, nonetheless, needs to represent all of them. and we need to cater to their needs, and we need to try to empower all of them. So we try to put on as broad of an appeal on Islam as we can when we're interacting with people of other faiths.
But isn't that what Islam is anyway, is to accept people as they are with no boundaries,
Absolutely.
And give them that
Absolutely.
space to be who they are?
Throughout history, some of the most prosperous times of the Jewish and Christian communities was when they lived as minorities within Muslim majority countries. And so we need to respect that. We need to respect other people's faith. We need to respect Ahl al-Kitab. Right? There's a beautiful phrase for them, people of the book in the Quran. So we need to acknowledge that. We need to acknowledge that history. We need to acknowledge that they are our neighbors, and we need to respect them and care for them and engage with them.
And hope that the sense is also reciprocated and mutual.
Yeah.
I think moderation is so important with this atmosphere that we are living in right now.
Yeah.
And like, I said before, when you talk about Islam and you talk about Muslims, there is a sense of a fear and a sense of misunderstanding and a sense of a perception that is not factual, that is not understood correctly, throughout the masses. So you started talking about some of the programs. What are your programs to ensure that people get the right perspective? How do you engage others to come in and to say, no, Islam does not, condone violence. Sure. It does not condone, the political movements that individuals under the auspices of, the religion are creating. So what are you doing as ISNA to relay that message to the masses?
A few things. One, again, the interfaith. Because when we do interfaith, we don't do it with a church or a synagogue at a time. We will do it with a council that represents 1,000 churches or 1,000 synagogues. Beautiful. And then they can then go back, to their congregations and convey what they've learned talking with us. The other thing that we try to do is empower local masajid to do this kind of work. We provide training, we provide literature. Yes, we provide training, we provide literature. Literature is very important because
education,
as an organization that is headquartered in Indianapolis, there's only so much we can do, but it takes involvement on the local level, and so we do what we can to support locals, local activists, local interfaith leaders, because what we have found is that the best way to combat Islamophobia, the best way to combat people's negative perceptions is for them to know and meet a Muslim. And if they have a Muslim friend, what we have found is they become almost immune to all of the hype and the propaganda that they hear on TV and the radio.
It's relationships.
Absolutely. It's relationship building. So the best thing that we can do as Muslims to improve people's perception of us is to be out there in the open, make friends, tell them, hey, I'm a Muslim, I'm a normal person just like you.
And no, I have nothing to do with all of that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I am really excited, over the top excited, in regards to your convention that is for the first time here in Detroit, your 51st anniversary convention. And you have one of my heroes coming as the keynote, and I am just, I'm speechless. President Jimmy Carter is your keynote speaker.
President Jimmy.
Oh, wow. President Jimmy, as you affectionately call him, our 39th president.
Yes.
How exciting. Talk to us about his message and the relationship that has been sort of fostered between ISNA and government and President Jimmy.
Yeah, well, I think it says a lot about ISNA.
Absolutely,
and
scores.
ISNA's reach to be able to bring someone of President Carter's caliber, right? But you can only do that through engagement. Which is what we try to do. We try to be inclusive and we try to engage. President Carter, we all know him to be one of the most ethical presidents.
Peace-loving individual.
And he has been most empathetic to Muslims and Muslim causes probably than any other president. He is outspoken on various issues, including the Israeli-Palestinian issue.
And I think not necessarily in terms of Muslims themselves, but in terms of humanity, and in terms of standing next to humanity and standing by the right thing to do, and being outspoken and saying, this isn't the right thing. There has to be some levelness. There has to be some fairness in our political process, in our engagement process, and fairness in how we govern different entities. And I think he was fearless.
He was fearless, and he was selfless. He's done so much for other people. He could have retired. Yes, he could. After his presidency,
he's like
90 something, and mashallah, he's up there. But he's still out there. He's still active. He's still traveling. He has so many nonprofits that he supports, so many causes that he supports. I think he's a role model for all of us.
Absolutely, and he's got some wonderful books that are educating individuals about things that we only see in the media. But he does.
And you'll be able to buy a signed copy of some of his books at the convention.
Oh, that'll be a treasure.
Yes.
Tell us how we can see him. What's the schedule?
There are two ways. He's coming Saturday afternoon.
Okay.
I believe he's coming from about 3 to 5, and he's going to talk at two events. One of them is our fundraising banquet, and it's $200 a seat, and that's our primary fundraising event for the year. Absolutely, VIP.
Oh, thank you.
But then the other thing is he's going to be the keynote speaker at the main session, and that's open to everyone who is registered. Anyone who has a ticket, you don't have to pay an additional fee for that.
Wonderful. So, and what time is that going to be?
That's going to be about 4 o'clock.
Okay, and the dates are August 29th
through September 1st. It's a 3-day event. It goes from Friday to Sunday on Labor Day weekend at the Cobo Convention Hall in Detroit.
Now, President Carter is one of the biggest attractions, I think, and really speaks scores about ISNA's outreach and its validity in terms of being a voice for the Muslim and Islamic communities. But this is a family event too.
Absolutely.
So it's not
there's something for everyone.
There's something for everyone. Talk to us about that. I mean, kids, families, singles, adults,
everybody,
everyone.
Well. It's a big event. That's why it's a 3-day event.
And you're expecting how many people?
Around 15,000 people.
15?
Yeah.
15 to 20?
15 to 20, hopefully.
15 to 20.
We expect a good turnout because of the high concentration.
Well, 15,000 people is
that's a lot.
It's a good turnout.
Yeah, it's a good turnout.
And from all over the world?
From all over the world, yes. They come from all over the world. It's not just local. It's not just the U.S. I mean, we have people coming in from California, people coming in from Africa and
India,
and Europe, India, from all over. We have attendees and speakers.
We do.
It's
going to be a culturally diverse
Absolutely.
event.
We have I think we have 14 main sessions. 14 main sessions, about 60 parallel sessions, and over 250 speakers. And the topics range everything from religious topics, cultural topics, domestic violence, how can we better raise our kids, everything. There's something here for everyone. We address all sorts of issues. But then in addition to the speakers, we have various events. We have a bazaar. And it's a bazaar. We have over 500 vendors at this bazaar. And by the way, the bazaar is free to everyone. It's open to everyone. You do not have to be registered or buy a ticket. Anyone can come to the bazaar. We have a carnival for the kids. We have a matrimonial program.
Tell me about that.
The matrimonial program is exactly what the name suggests. It's,
come and meet your future husband.
Yes, or future wife. It's becoming hard. It's becoming very difficult, and these unconventional methods of meeting one another, they're becoming unconventional. They're becoming very commonplace.
Social media and
Absolutely.
What have you.
So whatever we can do to help young, or sometimes not so young, Muslim men and women find a suitable partner, then we think we're doing a tremendous service to the community.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
So we have the matrimonial, we have a 5K walk that benefits local charities. We have a basketball tournament.
The 5K walk, when does that take place? And
I believe the 5K walk is Sunday morning.
Sunday morning, okay. And where is that going to take place at?
At the convention center.
Okay.
And the 5K is right along the river, so it's a beautiful walk.
So Jefferson.
It's a beautiful walk.
Okay, beautiful.
We have a basketball tournament. We have a fashion show. We have a recitation competition for the kids. We have 2 local service projects going on. So we're
Tell us about the service projects.
Sure. The service projects. One of them is they go and we have about 50 volunteers, and they're helping start a garden, a vegetable garden, right, where they're going to start growing foods in a sustainable manner, and then those foods go to help needy in the local area. Some of it will go
within the Metro Detroit area.
Yes.
Okay. I think the other one was the revitalization of abandoned buildings within.
Yes.
Within,
almost
Metro
like a Habitat
Detroit,
for Humanity
so,
type of thing.
And that's happening just over the
At
weekend, or is
at
this
the convention.
Yes.
Those who want to volunteer, they can volunteer. Transportation will be provided, and they'll be taken. They'll do what they have to do, and then they come back.
And a couple of local organizations are involved in that. I know HazemBata International is involved in a couple
they're helping
of
us
those.
out. Yeah.
And are there any other organizations within Metro Detroit that are?
Well, it's mainly individuals.
Okay.
We have been blessed. We have been blessed to have a wonderful team of local volunteers that have selflessly helped ISNA. I mean, we could not do this without them. This is really their accomplishment as much as ours. So we have some organizations helping us, but we have numerous individuals and volunteers helping us out.
What's your membership? What's ISNA's membership? Do you know?
We have thousands of members. I'd say somewhere around 5,000 to 7,000 members.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's around the world.
Yes, primarily in the U.S.
Okay, and you're located, your national office?
Our headquarters is in Indianapolis, Indiana, and we have a satellite office in D.C.
Okay.
Yeah.
So through this convention and this conference, which sounds amazing. I mean, the logistics involved in preparing
an art exhibit.
for this.
I forgot to mention there's an art exhibit.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. So something for everyone.
Something for
kids,
everyone. That's right.
For
and it's a family event. It's a family event.
It sounds absolutely amazing. So what are, after the convention and after the festivities and after the dialogue, now let me ask you first, now is your audience or your participants usually only Muslim, or is this more?
No. We have Christians, Jews, Buddhists, atheists, people from all faiths coming. We have a unity banquet, an interfaith unity banquet, where we have religious leaders in various communities all coming together. So we specifically market and reach out to people of other faiths. We have a government session. The governor of Michigan,
Governor Schneider.
Yeah, he's also coming. We reach out to everyone.
And you also have Keith Ellison, who's going to be speaking.
Keith Ellison, the very first Muslim member of Congress.
Absolutely.
He's coming, and he's a personal friend of mine.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I've met Keith Ellison a couple of times, and each time his message has been extraordinary. So I'm looking definitely forward to speaking with him. So you have all these different individuals coming in and speaking and sort of intermingling. So after the festivities and you go back, what do you garner from these conferences, and how do you move forward? What are your programs that move forward through the conversations, through your achievements, and through the platform that you've created for others?
Well, as far as the attendees are concerned, we hope that what we've given them is, one, something to think about when they go back. How they can be better Americans, better Muslims, better family members, better human beings, better community members. What can we do at our local mosque to make it better? That kind of thing, right? We want to stimulate people. We also want people to feel proud that I'm an American Muslim, and this is a heck of an event. I am proud to be an American Muslim. I'm proud to be affiliated with ISNA. Want them to be proud. And then as far as ISNA is, we want this to be a continuing relationship. The last thing we want is to come, have a convention, and then never see you again. We have a lot of smaller events. We have conferences. We have mosque development conferences. We have educational conferences where Muslim educators and principals from across the country get together and brainstorm and figure out how can we better educate our youth. We have youth camps. across the country.
Talk to us about that.
A youth camp, it's a camp. They're usually about a week long. We have them all over the country.
Girls, boys.
Girls, boys.
Okay.
Yes. The sleeping quarters are separate,
yeah,
but the activities, it's everyone is together, and they learn about their religion. They learn about their culture. They learn various
horseback riding,
skills, activities. At some camps, yes. At some camps, yes. So, but it's not just purely religious,
or academic.
And we don't try to push one particular brand of Islam or anything like that. It's all very general, something that any Muslim would agree with.
And I know that there's been discussion. There's different facets of Islam, of course. Now, how does Islam approach
We are
that?
non-denominational. We welcome everybody, Sunni, Shia, those who are very strong in their faith, those who are moderate in their faith, those who are weaker in their faith, those who are just Muslim by name. Everyone is welcome. Everyone is welcome at Islam.
Well, I think that is really important and a wonderful platform, because I think at this time it's so important, like we said, the normal sense of being Muslim or being Christian or being whatever you are, and being able to be part of the landscape and being able to take where you are and be part of it rather than being, a part of it.
Sure.
And I think that's a lot. That's an issue that a lot of Muslims who are very, very conservative have an issue with, and they find it hard to assimilate. So I think going towards that, I don't want to say brand, but that theology, which is truly religion. I believe religion is your spirituality, and religion is conscience. And as long as you do the right thing and you are good to your neighbors, you're good to your family, you're 3/4 the way of being religious, and then the logistics are your own personal beliefs, and so I think uniting individuals on that platform is so important. And the acceptance of everyone as they are, rather than trying to change them or trying to...
By the way, I mean we have non-Muslims working at ISNA. At our headquarters, we're very inclusive, and we have to remember the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ interacted with everybody, right? He didn't limit his interaction to just Muslims. He interacted with everybody. He was polite with everybody, and people loved him. Absolutely. Many non-Muslims, they respected him tremendously. In fact, many of them would go to him to settle their disputes because they trusted him so much. So we need to take that approach. We need to
get back to the basics.
Absolutely, we are Muslims, but we're also American, and there's no contradiction there. There's no reason why we cannot be fully American and totally Muslim at the same time. And we need to embrace that, and we need to embrace the fact that we live in a great country, and we're all here because this is the land of opportunity, because this country gave us opportunities, or our parents or grandparents opportunities that our home countries were not giving them. So let's respect that. And this is a country, and this is a system that was established by people that came before us. So let's respect that. Let's embrace that, and let's add to that. Let's start contributing to the society that we live in.
Absolutely. And I think many Muslims, many people of different faiths and denominations were born and raised here, second, third, fourth generation, and so it's they're part of the landscape. And individually, I think that's what's best about this country.
Absolutely.
The right to religious freedom, the right to free speech, and I think that's what we have to build on, and we have to make the platform be on common ground.
And we're not doing our kids any favors, by the way, by making them feel that they're not fully American, right? Because that's only going to create problems for them down the road, feeling that they're not fully accepted in this society. There's no benefit to it.
And making them understand that the acceptance of others is important too, because as a Muslim, from my understanding, is that you cannot practice your faith or be of Muslim faith unless you do accept all the other monolithic religions and all others as they are.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
so that message is somehow
Gets lost sometimes.
has gotten lost, and so I think ISNA's platform is to
ISNA strives
create that
for
again.
inclusion and acceptance, and don't let people live their lives. You may not agree with their theology, but that's okay. You give them the latitude to live their lives the way they want, and in return, you get the same latitude.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, this is really exciting for me, and I feel that the message is one that others will embrace and enjoy and be able to interact with, and the fact that people from all over the country, it's just going to be
Over the world come.
all over the world, and I meant to say world, are coming, and it's going to be such a culturally diverse, because Muslims come from
Yes.
all over and all
We
different
are a
cultural
diverse group.
entities,
We're a
and
diverse
it's just
group.
going to be beautiful to see that interaction together. So tell us about how we can get involved, number one, and how, if people want to attend
Sure.
the conference, the convention, who they have
Sure.
to contact.
Sure. Well, you don't have to contact anyone. You just have to go to our website,
Okay.
isna.net, and there's a registration area. You can register. You can pay online,
Or you can just show up.
or you can just show up and buy your ticket at the door.
Wonderful. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So the first day, what do we expect the first day, really quick?
First date, it starts around Friday afternoon. We have a few of our main sessions.
Friday afternoon, what time, if people want to actually go?
Around, I think, 1 o'clock.
Okay,
2
so
o'clock
the time is Friday afternoon at 1.
Is when it starts.
Okay.
Then we've got activities going on all day.
Different workshops, as
Different
we
workshops,
discussed
yes.
earlier. Great.
So the carnival will be up. The bazaar will be up.
I'm coming to that.
The matrimonial, which is multiple sessions, by the way. So everything starts on Friday.
Okay.
President Jimmy is coming on Saturday.
Okay.
The bulk of the keynote speakers are going to be Saturday. Right. So
Okay.
you don't want to miss Saturday.
No.
You don't want to miss any of it, but you especially don't want to miss
Saturday.
Saturday. We have entertainment as well. We have an entertainment coming.
What kind of entertainment, really?
Native Deen, I believe,
Okay.
is coming this year.
Singer?
They're sort of a Muslim rap group.
Okay, rap
Yeah,
group.
yes.
Muslim rap group.
Muslim
Okay.
hip hop rap. It's something to see.
Okay. All right, and you have food, of course.
Oh, of course. Anytime you have Muslims, you have to have
You
food.
have to have food.
Yeah.
Well, isna.net.
Isna.net.
HazemBata, thank you so much. This
Thank
is
you.
really enlightening.
This is my pleasure.
So excited. August 29th to September 1st, Cobo Hall, isna.net. If you're interested in joining, and I hope you are. This sounds like such an amazing event. 15 to 20,000 people from all over the world, sort of a cultural immersion and beautiful experience, and I hope that you'll join us at Cobo Hall. HazemBata, thank you so much.
It was my pleasure.
For joining us on Community Connection.
And come to the convention.
Absolutely, absolutely, and thank you to our Ilmaz TV viewers as well. Have a wonderful day.